Hey guys, welcome back. I'm so excited to be back to posting after a crazy long semester, but we're getting back into filming. And I'm so excited for this next episode with former NFL star Deante Burton. I met Deante at Adaptive Training Foundation, where he is now working on the mental side of things with the athletes. Deante played for many teams in the NFL, and I can't wait for y'all to hear his story. Okay guys, welcome back to Game Changer. I'm so excited to have you on our podcast. So, just tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are.
My name is Deante Burton. I am a father of two, husband of one. I live here in Dallas, Texas. I'm part owner in Pro Sport Performance and Therapy, a physical therapy and performance clinic in Frisco, Texas. And, I like to spend my time with good people.
Okay. Tell me, who was Deante the kid? Who were you when you were younger? What did you like to do? Did you get into a lot of trouble, sports, all things?
I don't know, you gotta define trouble. But I love to be outside. Anything I could do outside, I was into it. From climbing trees to riding bikes, playing with friends, all the fun things. I was eager to try everything as a kid. It didn't really matter what it was. Loved playing sports, learned to ski, learned to snowboard, skateboard, anything that allowed me to be active, I was for it. As far as trouble, nothing crazy. I was more rambunctious, and we'd TP a house or throw an egg or two every now and then, but nothing that tried to cause too much harm.
That's good. So what brought you to football? What led you to that path?
What led me to football? I always loved watching football. I distinctly remember my mom, who's in the military, a lot of her guy friends, she was like a part of the guys, so they always hung around the house, and they were always around, especially when she was deployed. Football was like a huge thing, sports in general. And so being around guys and men that were much older than me and their reverence for some of the great icons in sports throughout the days kind of brought me into it on my own, listening to them talk about Michael Jordan and Barry Sanders and Walter Payton and all these just freak athletes that I grew up kind of idolizing. It brought me into the game, and just over time, football just happened to be the path and direction I went.
Yeah. So high school football, what was that like for you? Was that like something you enjoyed, or was it like something you did not like?
Oh, it was my favorite thing. I get asked a lot what was some of the favorite teams and best teams I've ever played on, and I tell people all the time, it's high school football. Those are your best friends. There was a time period I think I was just with them over the holidays. We were joking about it, but we were explaining to our wives who might not have grown up with us, and saying like, man, we spent 6 days a week with each other for the better part of 7 years, because we all went to college together too. So I got to hang out with my best friends every day, and to be around good people going after a common goal is, I think, a foundation for a positive life.
Okay. So from a story I've heard, from my dad, as I say that scouts were coming to more look at your teammates in high school, but they would struggle with keeping their grades up, staying out of trouble, which gave you an opportunity.
Yeah.
Tell me about what that was like and what you would say to younger athletes about that kind of thing.
I think, what was it like? I had friends from all different walks of life. I think it's totally important because you can learn something from everybody. Yeah. Some of my friends grew up different than I did and different than my other friends, but they were still good people at heart. And a part of that, I always tell, no problem saying it, I was probably the third most talented football player, fourth most on my team. The other guys who were incredibly talented just didn't value the certain things that my upbringing valued, or they just didn't put the effort into, staying out of trouble, going to class, things like that. And there was a story I'll always remember as we were coming back from lunch. Our football office is in the back of our school, so you can kind of see when coaches would park there. And then you always knew a coach was there when you'd see a rental car. Says you don't know anybody from New Mexico or California or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you can assume that a college coach is there. And I remember a friend of mine who every school in the country wanted, he just made that decision that day. He's like, man, I'm not going back to class. And this was something that I can't say that I wasn't a part of at some points, to just be like, I can sleep this one off. But that day I was like, man, I'm going to go. And he chose not to go. And I go back to that being a definitive moment and just making a choice, right? The door might open It might not just open for you, but it might just be open. And if you're not there to walk through, kind of SOL.
Yeah, for sure. So tell me a little bit more about your college career at Kansas State. Mentality, what was that all like for you?
I went to Kansas State. I got into college when I was 17. I was right up the street from my house. It was like a 5-minute walk, so that was nice being at home. It was extremely comfortable. I got to hang out again with all my best friends because they're right there. The experience football-wise, I played for Bill Snyder, who I think is going to go down as one of the greatest college coaches of all time. During my time there, he was like 71, 72, so very much old school. A lot of old school lessons that I carried with me today. I like to brag that I never once got fined in the NFL because of the way he treated us. Your shirt had to be tucked in. You had to be in meetings 7 minutes early. Your hair couldn't be out of your helmet. No earrings. No tattoos out. All the things that at the time a 17 to 22-year-old didn't understand, but as a man now I greatly appreciate. So very disciplined structure, very I was just old school, just done a different way, but very grateful. And again, made great friends, learned great lessons, and I think it helped me in the long run.
That's amazing. So would you say, like, going into like the draft days and preparing at camps and all the things, did you ever feel, coming from Kansas State, which was a Big 12 school, did you ever feel like overlooked compared to some of the kids coming from bigger like SEC schools? And if so, like, how did you use that to fuel you?
Definitely. Coming out, I think at that time, while I was at Kansas State, I remember maybe we had 3 guys drafted before me in my time. So we had Arthur Brown, who was number 2 player in high school at the time, and then he ended up getting drafted. I think we had a corner go, and then we had Tyler Lockett, who was in the receiver room with me.
Yeah.
And we had another receiver, Chris Harper. He got drafted. So I got to see those guys get drafted. And to me, they were the best football players I had seen, and they went late, right? They weren't high picks. And I kind of noticed that our school got overlooked when it came to draft picks, and that we didn't really market our players like other schools did. We were very team first when it came to that. And so during the pre-draft process, as I worked out with these other teams and worked out against kids from the SEC and the Pac-12 at the time and ACC, I remember using it kind of as motivation, because at all these facilities, scouts and coaches and people wanted to see the guy that went to USC or the guy that went to Alabama. And just similar to high school, the door was open. I just had to be the one to walk through it. So I took the opportunity to challenge those guys, and confident in myself, and it worked out.
So you played wide receiver in college and then transitioned to cornerback in the NFL, which is definitely like a rare switch. Did you ever imagine yourself playing defense when you were in college or even in high school, or was that like out of the picture for you?
I played it in high school, but it's just being athletic, turn and run. When I got to college, definitely not. I didn't want to play it in college at all. Chicks dig people who score touchdowns, so I was pro. Give me the ball. I want to score. I felt like that was the fun thing. But the opportunity to do it in the NFL was great. I had an amazing staff. I had amazing teammates that helped me make the switch. Personnel, everyone was on board with making it happen and giving me the tools and opportunities I needed to succeed.
What would you say that hardest part of that transition was for you?
Just confidence. I think it's hard. It's difficult to be confident in the NFL. Just you're playing against the best of the best. The pond is as big and as small as it's going to get, metaphorically. So the confidence aspect of learning something new on the fly, while there's a crop of 4,000 guys coming in next year to take your job, and then there's also guys that are looking to take your job on your own team. So being able to compete and not compare was a difficult thing.
Yeah. Would you say that your background as a receiver helped you read routes, kind of anticipate plays as a cornerback?
Yeah, definitely. I had some great coaches and explained it super, super well, but knowing how to play receiver, all the moves that you can make from a certain spot. And so when you flip the board like a game of chess, you start to learn when someone's standing over here, they can only go over there. When someone's doing this, they can only do that. And that helped a lot. Yeah. That, and then just the natural ball skills when you see a ball in the air to jump and go get it.
Yeah, for sure. What motivated you to keep pushing when your role in the NFL and on like an active team wasn't always guaranteed?
Well, that's a great question. What motivated me? My love for the game. my motivation to challenge myself. I'm a very, how do I put it? I have a very good memory for things that I shouldn't. So there were times that I could convince myself to go harder and push myself because of maybe a 7th grade art teacher who doubted me, or a kid that I went to school with that didn't think I was going to make it. And little things like that just gave me energy to give, a little extra work.
For sure. You played for many teams, and what was it like trying to adapt to each locker room and like each team's like scheme and their I guess I don't even know, like environment? What was that, trying to adapt to all the different teams?
It had its difficulties. I would say a really cool lesson that I learned, which wasn't even given to me, he just said it out loud, was when I got to Houston. J.J. Watt was saying something to a lot of the rookies and guys that were coming in and kind of getting things settled. And he said, don't worry about being liked, worry about being respected. And everybody respects somebody who works hard and knows what they're doing. And I just remember hearing it, and it stuck with me. And I told myself, like, yo, if I can, no matter what locker room I'm in, if I work harder than everybody else, and if I always know what I'm doing, so that helped me learn schemes, then, man, I don't have to worry about being liked, but I'll be respected. And I think, especially in football locker rooms, the guy you respect is usually the guy you like. And so those two things, work hard and know what you're doing, kind of kept me around.
Was there ever a moment in your NFL career when you really thought, like, I belong here, and that you truly meant to be in the NFL and on this team and doing all the things?
Yeah, there were a couple. Trying to think which one sticks out the most. Playing in Atlanta, my first game I played against Philly, getting out there on defense, making calls, making adjustments, I kind of built a little confidence and said, I feel good about this. And then again in Houston, we played Philly, and I actually remember trying to push JJ into a different spot, and he actually like listened to me, but he told me, he's like, you got to say it louder. Like, I can barely hear it. You got to be louder. And having him right there, and then Tyrann Mathieu right there, and just kind of like a surreal moment, like, oh, I'm in this. Like, I'm telling people what to do. It gave you a moment that, like, hey, I belong here. And the confidence that has to come with belonging here makes it better.
For sure. A lot of people can get discouraged after changing teams many times, kind of with like almost like an identity crisis kind of thing. What kept you grounded and focused through the whole thing?
No matter where you are, there you are. It's a saying that I kind of kept probably leaving high school. No matter where you are, there you are. So if you want to stay grounded in something, be grounded in who you are and your values, the things that you hold true, your own foundation. And you can put that anywhere in the world as long as you hold on to it. So, like I said, working hard, knowing what I'm doing, being respectful, having manners, being disciplined. And that's just how I was going to go about every day, no matter where I was at. So that kind of helped me stay grounded, and then just, be yourself.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to change who you are if you like who you are, and that kind of helps.
Do you have a proudest moment from when you played, or even if it wasn't like a crazy highlight reel play, just like something you were proud of while playing?
Yeah, I tackled Darren Sproles, which one sounds crazy to say, but when I was a junior in high school, there were only a couple players, again, that had went to the league from Kansas State, and Darren Sproles was one of the most notable, along with Jordy Nelson. And so you kind of meet these guys. Jordy grew up 10, 15 minutes from me in a small town, and then Darren Sproles is from Kansas City. So you meet them on and off, especially growing up in Kansas. They're kind of the folklore. And I met Darren Sproles on a recruiting visit to K-State, and just having like a conversation with him. And he's not a guy who talks a lot, but he had kind of told me, like, if you believe you can do it, you can play in the league. Like, you can do that. And that was enough to give me the energy and kind of give me the boost. And so when I played against Philly and I tackled him, it was one of those moments like, oh shit, like, that happened. So it's something I'll never forget.
Sure. Would you say that your journey from switching positions, grinding for roster spots, helped you to understand the game on a deeper level?
Definitely. Yeah, it allowed you to kind of open up your brain and see it as chess and not checkers. Like I said, understanding what guys can't do by position helped you understand what was going to happen, where to put yourself. And then just being forced to learn. I think it's easy to get comfortable when you've done the same thing for 12 years. There's guys that have played center, and they've only played center all their life. It's a guy that's played, left tackle. He's only played left tackle all his life.
Yeah.
But having to play all different positions and learn and do things like that, it's expanded my love and knowledge of the game significantly.
What does it mean to you to change the game, even when you're not always in the spotlight and even sometimes not always on the field, but to change the game for the better?
Do your job. I think I played for Dan Quinn, who I think is just a mastermind of working with players and simplifying, and he would just say, hey man, just do your job. Whatever your job consists of, if that's stand here until this person moves, do that. If that's go as fast as you can in this direction, just do that. But if you can just master doing your job more times than not, you'll impact the game in ways you don't even understand. And then if you can get 11 guys to do their job, good things usually happen.
Yeah. I've kind of talked to you about this earlier, but how did you stay mentally strong being on the edge of roster spots or going between practice squad and an active role? What kept you mentally strong during that?
I had great people around me. I can't say that I did it all on my own. My beautiful wife, Holly, no matter the ups and downs, she always believed in me, always believed that things were going to work out the exact way they were supposed to. So, being able to come home to that always helped. But for the most part, just trust and faith that, man, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I can give 100% of my effort and it'll shake however it shakes. I can't be dependent on the outcome. And it took me time to learn that. I can't say I started that way, but through some ups and downs, some trials and tribulations, injuries, things like that, that's what it kind of taught me.
Yeah. How did you handle kind of the in-the-moment pressure of knowing that, if you made a mistake in a practice or every rep, that could be the difference between you staying and getting cut?
That's a great question. No, I mean, I would say that is 95% of the league's worry. There's a group of guys that are at the top that don't worry about that. But it's an interesting business. I think you've talked to Dave, right? It's a very interesting business to where they'll interview somebody for your job on a Tuesday, and if you're just in the building, you'll watch. They don't do that anywhere else. You don't get to go to H&R Block and they bring in the next accountant and you get to watch him work. They don't do that at McDonald's. They don't do that other places. So watching that and knowing the importance in every day and every rep, it keeps you honest for sure. If it means something to you, but the way that I at least held on to it is I leaned on good people. I had great teammates. There's some days where it didn't cross my mind once. There's some days where it was all that was on my mind. But again, the ability to lean on good people and give my best, give what I had, kept me in it.
For sure. And would you say that being able to put not the pressure, but being able to relieve some of the pressure with your teammates and kind of talk through it, do you think that helped you kind of just with the pressure of proving yourself? Do you think that helped you kind of calm down when the league is just constantly moving?
Mm-hmm. It definitely helped. I've just the way the league shakes out, man. I got to Atlanta, and to this day, one of my best friends was a guy whose spot that I took. And he knew it was coming. He saw it, how it was happening, and just how I was excelling in Atlanta and in the position. And he knew, you're a younger, more fit, more capable in certain positions than I am, and that's exactly what they wanted. And he taught me a lot of valuable lessons, but the most was man, you don't have to dim anybody else's light. You don't have to try to hurt somebody's opportunities, man. Just be the best person you can be, and it'll work. And I mean, he's year 13, 14?
14.
And he's still going. So, to see that, it holds true.
Is there any lessons that you have from football, especially with your unique journey, that still carry you in your life now?
Yeah, the one that I hold that I got in high school. I actually just saw my high school coach when I went back for Christmas, but he still has it up in his office, and it's something that I'll never forget. It's just discipline, and he always defined it in 3 ways. Do it right now. So if you can do what you're asked to do, if you can do it the way you're asked to do it, and you do it when you're asked to do it, your success rate is exponentially higher. And I use that more times than not. I'm trying to teach it to my kids, but it's been my guiding light through a lot of life's adversities.
Yeah, for sure. What do you want younger players to understand about just the grind of an NFL career?
What would I want them to understand? I would say Jaron Curse told me this, that opportunity in the NFL is like bingo. Your number will get called at some point and in some way. You just don't know. And if you give up on the game, you turn your card in, you stop paying attention, you stop listening for your number, it'll pass you by. Yeah. And I know that as a guy who kind of had to wait for his number and you had to try different positions and things like that to get your number called, it can feel like forever, but your number will get called. And it might not always be, hey, we need to throw you the ball in the Super Bowl. It might just be to get in and get this rep in practice. And who knows what that practice rep can show the 50,000 scouts or the 30 guys watching, whoever it is, it's your opportunity. And if you're ready when your opportunity comes, good things will happen.
Yeah. So when you think about your legacy after the NFL, how do you hope people remember how you made an impact on the game?
I would love to be remembered as a great teammate, a disciplined individual, a guy who treated the game with respect. I never cheated the game. I never tried to take reps off. I gave what I had, and I think if I can be remembered as someone who did that, I'd feel complete.
Yeah. So I ask everyone this question, but who's someone, a coach, teammate, family member, that's your game changer, who truly changed your path and your direction in life?
My game changer would be my sister, my big sister. That's my moral compass. That's my voice in my head when I have to make decisions. That's I don't know what to do, so I gotta call you. I think I did the wrong thing, so I'm gonna call you. She's my everything. She keeps me in line. She shows me the way, corrects me when I need it, loves me when I'm not loving myself. It's my best friend. And so having her in my life definitely shaped my life in a way that has benefited so many more people than myself. And I don't think that would have happened without her.
It's amazing. So what are you doing now? What's your life like now?
Now I am a co-owner at a physical therapy clinic, which takes up a good amount of time. It's fun. It's like owning a bar. I just get to hang out with my friends all day and do things we like. The good thing is it's healthy things. We're not drinking beer. Along with that, I finished my master's in clinical psychology and pursuing my doctorate in clinical psychology. I want to be able to give back to the game of football and sports in general and help people. I think if you can find something you're good at, find something that can make you money, and find something you love to do, put all those three together, you find a purpose. And so it's kind of what I'm up to.
So here at ATF, you work a lot with athletes on their mindset, going into things. How do you use your journey in the NFL to help you with that and help them kind of understand that you know what they're going through?
I try to lead with empathy, and I think football teaches you that success and failure happen not in a vacuum, but they happen, all day, every day, in every event. And so there's individuals that come through these doors here that have succeeded and failed at certain things, some big, some small. That's not really for us to judge, but them, and just for them to know that there's somebody who's also felt success and failure and isn't going to do the job for me, but it'll walk hand in hand with me while I try to figure it out. I think that gives people just that extra boost, that person to lean on to help them get through.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, now I have fun questions for
Bring
you.
them.
Won't be too deep.
Ready.
Okay, what was your favorite pregame hype song?
I didn't listen to I didn't listen to rap music, honestly. If I wasn't listening to Bob Marley, when I wanted to bounce a little bit, I did Evelyn Champagne, Love Come Down. It's a disco record. So
Disco before football.
Yeah, just something to keep you grooving a little bit. I didn't need to be too hyped up.
Yeah. Did you have a weird superstition or ritual before a game?
I don't know if it's weird, but I used to text my wife back in college. 3 separate lines. It would be, I love you, I miss you, good luck. And that's what she would text me, and I would say, I love you, I miss you, thank you. So all the way back to traveling away games in college.
Amazing. Did you ever have like a toughest opponent or a team that you faced during your career?
Yeah, the couple times that I had to guard Alshon Jeffrey, it just threw me around like a rag doll. Zach Ertz ripped the numbers off my jersey. He's just too strong. And then I would say in college, never played well against Oklahoma. We beat them, but I always had tough games. They never were easy.
For sure. I mean, they still aren't.
They beat me up.
If you weren't an athlete with your NFL career and college career, what do you think your job would be?
Oh, I wanted to be in construction when I was a kid. I was obsessed with like building blocks and things like that, and I thought that's all construction. I just get to build stuff.
Yeah.
That, and they always had cool trucks. Every construction worker I knew had a really cool truck, and I was like, does that come with the job? Because if it does, I'm in. You got me.
For sure. Okay, this is my last question for you. It's very serious.
Okay, I'm gonna lock in.
If you were athletic, what sport would you play?
That's such a wild thing to say. I do wish, though. Oh, I'm trying to think. Curling.
Curling?
It's interesting to me. I don't quite understand it, but I think it takes a level of athleticism that we're not 100%. We're not respecting it for what it is. I've never done it.
Curling.
I've never seen anyone do it, but I just think there's more to it than we know. I really do believe that.
See, I'm the person when I watched curling, because we would always be at the hockey rink and they would have practices after my brother. I would always think that they were very unathletic and they couldn't do anything else, so they started curling.
Did you get out there? Did you do it?
No.
Okay. I just think that there's more to it than we know.
I don't think there.
I'm also fascinated by it a little bit. Like, do you brush extra hard? Are you an extra light brusher? Is it the amount of brushing that you do that allows it to go? There's so many questions. Is it shuffleboard? Is it about the spin? There's so many things that I'm not for sure about that fascinate me with it. So I would say I would love to become an elite curler.
Okay. Well, that's all I have for you.
Thank you
so much for being on the podcast.
You did so awesome. I appreciate you letting me be on your podcast.
Of course.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.